Another week is behind us. Week 7 is in the books for the NFL. And it was some week we had once again. Unfortunately, my Cowboys did not play, but they didn't let me down. Cowboys and Bears are both on bye weeks. Those are the two teams we're going to be talking about this week. And my final thoughts of week 7 and another crazy week of the NFL. All right, so we're starting off with the most Thursday night game there was. And of course, that was the Broncos and Saints. This game, I think I quit watching maybe by halftime. I think I went to bed. No idea. This game was just trash. Nothing but straight trash. The Saints are just all injured and just a boring game. I mean, who wants to watch Bo Nix versus Spencer Rattler on Thursday Night Football? I personally don't want to do that. No shade to those guys, but dude, that game was so boring. No interest in watching that game. The Broncos just absolutely dominated from start to finish. Javonte Williams finally having himself a game, finding the end zone 2 different times. And just like I said, not much going on for the Saints offensively. Just a disgusting game overall. A straight-up snooze fest. And yeah, like I said, Broncos a dominant win. I think everybody watching this game was mainly watching for Alvin Kamara for fantasy reasons, and maybe if you had the Denver Broncos defense in fantasy. Either way, a snooze fest in New Orleans. And it is just getting worse and worse week in and week on out for the Saints. The Broncos get it done in a much-needed bounce-back win for them, going to 4-3. And we move on to our classic Sunday edition of London football. The New England Patriots went to town to take on the London Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, the Jaguars, of course, another London game. And the Patriots off to a decent start, and it fell down. So the Jaguars, Brian Thomas Jr. find the end zone. Nice game for him. His by far taking over that leading role over Christian Kirk for that receiving spot. No Travis Etienne. That's not going to be a problem. Tank Bigsby finds the end zone twice in a 100 yards game for him. And the Jaguars end up getting a big win over the Patriots. And it is just not looking good for New England. I know a lot of people love to see that. I think it's time for the Jaguars to really move on from Travis Etienne, I think. I think Tank Bigsby is a way better player right now. I don't know. I mean, Travis Etienne, I don't think is that much of a big threat as much as he was. He's just not, I don't know if it's just because he's just having a bad year this year or what, but I think this should move on from him. But Trevor Lawrence, finally getting it done. Still just an okay game. Under 200 yards, finding the end zone once with that touchdown to Brian Thomas. And yeah, that's pretty much about it to say of this game. Two bad teams, both missing the playoffs. But the Jaguars, of course, pretty much a home game for them. This time, they win in London unlike last week, and will get their second win of the year. And we're moving on to the 1 o'clock games, starting in Minnesota. A divisional tough matchup. By far, I think, one of the games of the week between the Lions and the now no longer unbeaten Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings get their first loss of the year. I definitely kind of thought the Lions would win this game, but man, it was a great one, a very close game. Vikings defense forcing turnovers late, helping them out, but it just wasn't enough to stop Jared Goff and that offense in the end with their game-winning field goal to ice it with just under 20 seconds to go, and their defense made a stop and ended the game. Aaron Jones, we thought didn't know he was even going to play for Minnesota to start the game with his hamstring injury he had going on, which I thought it was his hip. Now it's his hamstring. But he found the end zone, had himself a decent game. Justin Jefferson, of course, found the end zone as well. But man, I think this game really sold it for me. I kind of thought maybe the Vikings were going to kind of slip up a little bit, but I think during this year with the run they got going on, but I think they're going to stick with it. I mean, they're 5-1. Sam Darnold looked pretty decent, but the Lions defense and the Lions offense is just too much. They're such a great team. I still believe that they will win the NFC North. In a great, great time game on Sunday between these two teams in one of the best divisions in the NFL. The Lions are 5-1, the Vikings are 5-1, the Packers are 5-2, and the Bears are 4-2 with their bye week they had. Unbelievable stuff we had going on in Minnesota, but the Lions squeak out. No Aiden Hutchinson, we know. Dave Montgomery kind of got banged up as well. Jahmyr Gibbs, two touchdowns for him. He had himself a solid game, over 100 yards himself as well. But the Lions get it done, and they squeak out a win by 2 points, 31-29 over the now no more undefeated Minnesota Vikings. And we move on to another great game we have. We're really kind of going with these great games, and then it kind of falls. Then we kind of get back up a little bit to it. But either way, The Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers. A tough game here, and man, no Nico Collins is causing Stroud a lot of issues right now, guys. This dude was held under 100. I mean, the fact that they only lost by 2 and they almost won this game is impressive, but no Nico Collins is really causing Stroud issues, I believe, now. Under 100 yards? And like I said, they only lost by 2 points is still impressive, but man, they are looking really tough, like just super mediocre right now. Not looking good for CJ, but Joe Mixon, what a trade that happened in this offseason, getting him on that team. I'm really impressed with him right now. I kind of thought he was really starting to the age was getting to him. Kind of thought he was falling off a little bit. But man, Mixon has really impressed me, though. He had himself a great game, 2 touchdowns and 100 yards for him as well. Just sort of make sure of that. But like I said, Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, they connected for a touchdown. Josh Jacobs had a decent game. Love just some bad throws, but still 3 touchdowns, getting the job done. McManus for the game-winning field goal. Really looked like that was kind of a bad snap or bad hold, whatever it was. And then the kick, it was going left and then went on in. The Packers, unfortunately, did get the win in a great game between these two guys. I think everybody wanted to see these two teams in the Super Bowl last year. I think it can still happen this year, but either way, the Packers, they squeak themselves a win at home. And with those sweet white uniforms, ice cold, the Packers are 5-2, and the Texans fall to 5-2. And a great game between these two guys. Hopefully we see them again in the future. And we're moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Well, Saquon returned to New York and absolutely slapped the Giants defense right in the face all game long. And of course, so did Jalen Hurts. Overall, the Eagles just dominate the Giants 28-3. And a nice offensive performance, and their defense also did the job as well. Daniel Jones was sacked 7 times and then found the bench as himself. Is it finally time for New York to move on from Daniel Jones? Please don't. But for some reason, they still have him under center. He definitely got benched, obviously, like I said, during the game. Doesn't matter. I mean, the Giants are just an absolute masterclass of just awfulness. The Eagles, so one week they look really good, and the other week they kind of just look bleh. But either way, I'd say they looked pretty well against a bad Giants team, of course. Eagles get it done. Unfortunately, they move on to 4-2. I thought they were 4-3, unfortunately, but they are 4-2. The Giants fall to 2-5. So the Eagles, a dominating performance, like I said, over the Giants, and just not looking good for New York. What are the Giants going to do? Are they going to keep riding with Daniel Jones the rest of the year? Or we're going to see some trade deadline stuff. Who knows? Either way, the Giants season is definitely over. And the Eagles dominate and win. And Saquon, 150-plus rushing yards. Just a dominating performance from Barkley. So we move on to the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons this week in Week 7. And I'm a little surprised the way that this game went. Unfortunately, I worked all weekend, and I was slammed on Sunday at work. So I tried to really get as much NFL action as I could. But either way, moving on. I'm a little disappointed. I'm actually really disappointed with the Atlanta Falcons' performance against Seattle. Seattle going off 3 straight losses. Man, they have no momentum right now going forward. And Atlanta at home, I expected better. And I expected the Falcons to win this game. And they got slapped in the face by Seattle. Kirk Cousins just did not play a good game. Bad turnovers. Bijan's the only guy on that offense that did a whole lot. I mean, Drake London had himself a decent game. Found the end zone himself. Kyle Pitts, okay. Bijan, 100 yards and a touchdown. But I'm not impressed with the Falcons. Seattle just dominated him, but of course, what did it cost for Seattle to win? It cost DK Metcalf. He goes down with an injury. We'll see how long he might be out. But either way, Geno Smith, 2-touchdown game. Kenneth Walker finding the end zone twice with his rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. And just a nice day. I mean, Metcalf, though, leaving the game somewhat early and almost having just under 100 yards, but he found the end zone himself. But Seattle's defense making some big-time plays and just a big-time win for Seattle. I mean, like I said, I wasn't expecting this at all, but I'm really disappointed with Atlanta and the Falcons. I really compare this team with the Jets. I mean, what they have on offense right now, and they're just not succeeding. And they're really just inconsistent. They're better than the Jets, I believe, but either way, just a disappointing loss with Atlanta. Super disappointed. And the Seattle Seahawks, a much-needed win. And just like that, they are back in first place in the NFC West. And we move now to the Battle of Ohio, a mid-off between the Bengals and Browns. Ugh, what a disgusting game this was. Bengals start out red hot, with a kick return for a touchdown. That's the most exciting I think we had this whole game. Welcome back, Nick Chubb, and goodbye, Deshaun Watson. The Browns' dumpster fire continues, but I think a lot of fans are happy about it, but I'm not. I don't like Deshaun Watson, but I still don't think he deserves that ovation that he got of booing when he tore his own Achilles, when no Browns fan is in shape to even do anything with himself. But, I just cannot stand Cleveland, dude. I hate their fan base. It's a disgusting fan base. When I went in there for the Cowboys-Browns game, it was just a freaking ghetto masterclass of just trash. But either way, I had a great time because Dallas dominated Cleveland. Moving on, I guess I'm kind of happy Cincinnati won. I guess, whatever. I can't stand both of these teams. But the Bengals, an ugly, sloppy win. Jameis Winston came in there and threw a touchdown for Cleveland. Could not recover the onside kick, but like I said, not much happening this game. Higgins and Chase both find the end zone. A super mid-off game. Browns, no more Amari Cooper, of course. They get Nick Chubb back. Obviously, we didn't expect a lot of him. Still found the end zone, but only 22 yards on the ground on 11 carries. So a pretty disgusting game, honestly. The Bengals, they still just look So they're turning it around slowly, but I'm not impressed with them at all. And yeah, this game was pretty awful. Both these teams suck, in my opinion, right now. So yeah, we'll move on to the next game. Speaking of mid-offs, we're moving to Miami and Indianapolis here. In an ugly game, and I still don't understand why Anthony Richardson is under center, and I'm still surprised how the Colts are now 4-3, and I don't get it. No Jonathan Taylor again for the Colts. They still find a way to win, of course, because they're playing the terrible Dolphins, but Tyler Huntley also goes down for Miami, and they're now down to the third-string quarterback. So the Dolphins don't get the job done. Ugly game. I didn't pay any attention to this game whatsoever. I don't think I watched a single snap of this game because how bad it was. But the Colts find a way to get it done again. They win by 6 points in an ugly game, and really not much to say. Jonnu Smith had himself a good game, I guess, for Miami, but that's about it. Like I said, hopefully Tua comes back for Miami because they are in emergency mode now. They need a quarterback. Miami falls now to 2-4 in the year, and the Colts, like I said, are somehow 4-3. Not much to say about this game. This game sucked. And yeah, we'll move on now to the next game. I guess congrats, Colts. Please get Joe Flacco back under center. For fantasy managers, Josh Downs right here. I need him back in my lineup because Anthony Richardson's not connecting with anybody. Trash. So trash. Overrated quarterback. And our last game of the 1 o'clock slate on Sunday is the Titans and Bills. Titans, once again, really kind of just, they start playing good. And they just can't find a way to win. And they lose again. They're now down to 1-5. The Bills, slow start. But they get rolling in the third quarter, into the fourth. Welcome home now to Buffalo. Amari Cooper found the end zone. I think everybody saw that highlight of Keon Coleman, I believe it was, telling him, hey, you need to do this, run this route, and Josh Allen found him. Keon Coleman, though, had himself a game, 100 yards, but didn't find the end zone on 4 catches, but he had himself a nice game. Josh Allen gets it done again. I'm really getting my words. I said before on my rankings that the Bills wouldn't be that great this year, and I was wrong. Josh Allen has proven me wrong once again this year. The Bills are now 5-2 and running away in the AFC East. I think they have this thing wrapped up. So you will obviously see the Bills in the playoffs later on the year. They get it done. A nice offensive show later on for the Bills, and yeah, they get the win, and Will Levis and the Titans fall again in a tough loss. They were really in this game every quarter besides the fourth. Bills dominated in the fourth quarter. They win 34-10, and they are running away in the AFC East. And we move on to the 4 o'clock slate games on Sunday. And we'll start out with the Panthers and Commanders. Andy Dalton has just fallen down to earth. An ugly, ugly game for him. 2 interceptions, held under 100 yards on that Commanders defense. Commanders, a dominating performance overall. They moved to 5-2 on the year. But what did it cost? It cost Jaden Daniels. Marcus Mariota, though, came into the game, and he played pretty well. 2 touchdowns, played no turnovers, had himself a nice game. Really impressed with Marcus Mariota overall. But the Panthers, unfortunately, we'll see how long without Jaden Daniels. Brian Robinson finds the end zone. Terry McLaurin had himself a decent game, just didn't find the end zone. Zach Ertz found the end zone, 40 yards for him. And just a nice game offensively once again for the Commanders. They are definitely a tough team, but man, they really took a blow without their nice quarterback rookie out of LSU. Jaden Daniels is out. As a Cowboy fan, I'm happy, but it sucks for him. I actually do like him. I think he's a great player, but we'll see how Marcus Mariota does under center. The Panthers are very bad now. They've fallen down to earth for sure. They are just so bad. And the Commanders are still dominating. We'll see how they keep it going. Unfortunately, they're running away in the NFC East a little bit. We'll see how long it lasts. I still believe in Dallas. We'll have to watch out for Philadelphia. Moving on. Oh boy. Moving on to our Super Bowl rematch. The Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco IRs. Yes, the IRs. So the Kansas City Chiefs are now still the only unbeaten team in the NFL. They lose Juju Smith-Schuster. Kareem Hunt is seriously back. I cannot believe how good he's doing, really. He finds the end zone twice again on 100 yards. But the 49ers, the AKA the IRers, no Debo, no Christian McCaffrey, no Brandon Ayuk now. Juwan Jennings has been hurt. I heard George Kittle, I think, is hurt now. They're losing people on the defensive side. Players are getting ejected. It is just not looking good for San Francisco 49ers. You know what the worst part is, though? Is that Dallas is going to lose to him next week. Well, and their kicker as well. Jake Moody's a great kicker. And now, so the Chiefs get it done. Patrick Mahomes throws 2 interceptions, but they still keep winning. Patrick Mahomes is not playing his best ball, and this team is undefeated. Why? Well, their defense is very good. Brock Purdy has 3 interceptions on the day, an ugly game for him. All they have is Mason in that backfield right now. They are in a world of hurt right now for San Fran. I don't know. This team they are hitting the panic button right now. 100%. I don't know. Right now, we don't know if this team makes the playoffs. I don't know. It's a big, fat question mark. I don't know if they can get it done. Their defense I still believe that their defense is very good, but man, they are in trouble right now. The Chiefs just keep winning football games. When can they lose? I still don't think this team, the way they're playing, I get they're undefeated, but this team is not winning a Super Bowl. I hope I don't need these words later, but I don't think this team makes a Super Bowl. The way they're playing, their defense might be great, but this offense is just super mid. Kareem Hunt's one of their best players right now, which is insane. But either way, we'll see if they maybe do anything around the trade deadline. They need to get a receiver. Xavier Worthy is just kind of okay, I guess, but Noah Gray was a beast, I guess. I think he's taken, for some reason, over the role for Travis Kelce. I don't know what's going on there, but Noah Gray had a decent game. But either way, the San Francisco 49ers in a world of hurt right now, and the Chiefs keep winning games. Unbelievable. Speaking of games, I definitely didn't watch it all, though, when it came to the Colts game, is the Raiders and Rams. I don't think I watched a single snap of this game either, due to the fact I was busy at work, but I didn't even want to look at this game. The Raiders' only offensive player on their team right now, I'll give a shout out to, I guess you want to say honorable mention, Alexander Mattison. But right now, their only player on offense is Brock Bowers. Dude's actually became a great player right now, and that's all they got. They lose O'Connell. He's out for the game. Who knows how long he's out? Just now I heard, I think it was either yesterday or this morning, whenever I read it. Desmond Ridder is now a Las Vegas Raider. Who cares? But Gardner Minshew comes back and he throws 3 interceptions. Matthew Stafford had a super bad game, but who gets in the end zone again is Kyren Williams. Dude is a freaking fantasy scoring machine. Definitely taking over a role for Christian McCaffrey owners, I would say, but obviously you're not going to have both of them on your team, but you get what I mean. He's just another Christian McCaffrey right now is what it's looking like. The Rams get it done in ugly fashion against the Raiders. The Rams are really bad. Hopefully they'll get Cooper Kupp back in that lineup. I think next week, I don't know if they have a bye. I think they might have a bye. If they don't have a bye next week, I think it's the week after. I think they're trying to get him back. But if they don't have a bye, I can't remember if they do, but I believe that they might have a bye. But you get what I'm saying here. But either way, the Rams get it done in an ugly game I didn't pay attention to, but they found a way to win. They needed a win, and the Raiders are super bad. Probably one of the worst probably one of the worst teams, I think, maybe in the NFL, possibly right now, besides the Browns. They're neck and neck. Now, moving on to Sunday night. Sunday night football. Wow. I'm impressed. A little bit, I guess. When was the last time that you saw the Steelers put up 37 points on a game? And even in prime time? I don't even know. I don't even know the last time I saw this team score over like 24 points or something. I don't know. We'll score the Cowboys game? I don't know. But either way, the Steelers dominate at home against the New York Jets. Congratulations, New York. I'm not surprised. No, I don't think anybody. I mean, I expected the Jets to win this game, but the way that their offense is, it's still going to suck. Aaron Rodgers, hang up the cleats. It's over. I was happy you're back, but dude, it's so over, dude. This team is awful. I mean, this offense is nothing but a mediocre, just mediocre. Nothing but mediocre. Trash, overrated, mid. Aaron Rodgers, mid. Devontae Adams, mid. Garrett Wilson looked mid. Breece Hall finally got in the end zone, but what is he? Mid. Trash. The Jets are terrible. I cannot believe how many people thought that this offense was going to succeed at the beginning of the year. It's not. They're not good. They're awful. They're going to miss the playoffs. Congratulations to Russell Wilson for proving haters wrong, myself, the NFL, and their Pittsburgh's own fans. Because there was a lot of booing going on at the beginning of that game the way he was playing. I kind of get it. Justin Fields is off to a great start. He's winning games, but did we think Russell Wilson get the job done? Well, he did. Found the end zone twice in the air, had over 200 yards, and had himself a decent game. Either way, the Steelers, they get it done on Sunday night, and I can't believe it, but they won, and unfortunately, they are freaking 5-2 on the year, and I hate Pittsburgh, but the Jets are just trash, and I honestly kind of love it. Either way, we'll get to Monday night now. Congratulations, Russell Wilson, and George Pickens as well, proving me wrong. Had 100 yards finally. He got his head out of his rear end, and he also found the end zone. Way to go, Pittsburgh. And we're moving on to Monday Night Football. We'll start off with the first game that was at 8:15 Eastern Time. The Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Talk about proving me wrong. I was proved wrong again. Last week I said I think the Tampa Bay is going to be coming in with just a bunch of powerhouse fire. I thought that City was going to be just hungry for a football game, and I thought this team was going to be super fired up. It was a great drive. First touchdown to Mike Evans, the way it looked, it was a hot start, and I thought it was going to be just a shootout. I was wrong. The Ravens ended up getting it going. They woke up. Their offense just started going. Derrick Henry was a snooze fest in the first half. In the second half, then he woke up. Derrick Henry once again over 100 yards. Lamar Jackson proved himself why he might be once again the MVP of the NFL. Dominating performance. Mark Andrews getting in the end zone again. Unbelievable. Mark Andrews is starting to get going on this offense. Zay Flowers, a game. Rashad Bateman finding the end zone. He had 100 yards. But Mike Evans, he gets hurt. But the question of the day, why is Chris Godwin in? Here's the thing. Chris Godwin's in. It's 41 to 31. Time is a factor. You saw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers recover the first onside, and it was a great kick. And their second one was just as good. Now, this team is down 10 points. I truly believe Chris Godwin still should have been in that game. You can be mad about it all you want. You know the Baltimore Ravens. I know you're wanting to be smart. You lost Mike Evans. I get it. But how do you really expect Chris Godwin to get hurt that late in the game with a minute left? No. The odds are so low. Now, you're down 10 points in the fourth quarter against the Ravens. You made the onside kick the first time. All you need is a chip shot field goal. They could have aimed for that. I mean, I know this was before they got in the Ravens territory. He gets hurt. Unfortunate, but I still believe he needed to be in the game. He needed to be in the game. The Buccaneers legitimately still had a shot to win the game. Like I said, we know the Ravens. They always blow games. They get lazy when they get a lead. Whatever. They always blow it, and they always blow it. They almost did against Dallas. You know, right? Buccaneers fans and NFL fans cannot be mad that Chris Godwin was in the game. They legitimately still had a shot to win. I know it's super slim, but they had a shot to win the game. They didn't get it done. I think they still legitimately had a shot to kick a field goal, but they wanted to score a touchdown more. I mean, either way, the Ravens, I still believe, would have won the game, yes. But I still think Chris Godwin should have been in the game. That's just me. But the Ravens get it done. They win by 10 on primetime. I'm shocked the Buccaneers lost this game personally. I know Baker Mayfield just didn't look like himself at all without Mike Evans on that field. He did not look good. Rachaad White, though, finally finds the end zone more and more times, 2 times. He had a great game. That's why I still believe he needs to be involved in that offense more because he's a great player. Bucky Irving's good, but I still believe Rachaad White needs to get more involved. K. Dotton had himself 100 a game. Nice game for him. See, it's so nice when I get to watch more NFL because I can get more in depth with these games because I wasn't at work. But either way, moving on. The Buccaneers can't get it done on Monday night. Like I said, I'm surprised. I thought they were going to win this game with Hurricane and they had. Thought this was going to be just a momentum builder, but they couldn't get it done. They stay tied for first in the NFC South. Ravens are dominating, though. Their offense, man, it looks tough. Now we're moving on to the mid-off of the Chargers and Cardinals. This game was pretty trash. I don't think really anybody paid a lot of attention to the Chargers and Cardinals game, and I really just hate how there's... Sometimes I like it, but sometimes I don't. I really personally do not like these 2 Monday night games. It's too much. You got one game on one TV, and then you got the other game on the other, but the other one's also on ESPN Plus, so a lot of people didn't watch this game. I don't know why it wasn't on ABC, which I think is stupid. But now, like I said, a defensive matchup between the Chargers and Cardinals. And then I don't think a lot of people expected a lot of high scoring in this game. Cardinals get it done, though. Game-winning field goal, a last drive of the game. They just stopped the Chargers, though, late there. Jim Harbaugh went with his kicker. Can't blame him. Digger, the kicker, gets it done. Got a lot of points for the Chargers, and that's about it for them. The Cardinals get it done on a game-winning field goal. They drive down the field, hitting James Conner on a big play. And they get it done at home in Arizona. A much-needed win for the Cardinals. They go to 3-4. They're literally just a game behind the Seahawks in first place. They're in second, tied with the Niners at 3-4. The Rams are 2-5. But Cardinals are still in the division. Unbelievably, the way they play, they don't play very good ball. Very inconsistent ball. I wouldn't get excited, though, if I'm a Cardinals fan. This is just a bleh win. Like I said, not much offense really at all in this game. Will Dissly, though, had himself a game for some reason for Los Angeles. But J.K. Dobbins really got stuffed up against the Cardinals. But yeah, Kyler Murray run all over the Chargers defense, though. Had himself a decent game, but not much to say. The Cardinals get it done on Monday night, and they're a game back, I said, from first place. And now, guys, like I said, one of my favorite segments of this NFL week wrap-ups is my team of the weeks and my losers of the weeks. And here they are. Alrighty, and my team of the week, we'll start out with, actually no, we'll go with our losers of the week. I think we had our team of the week last week. Losers of the week, I'm going to have to go with the Atlanta Falcons. A very disappointing team. I think their offense is very talented, and they're not showing it every other week. Super inconsistent team because of Kirk Cousins under center. I still think he's a good quarterback, but lots of inconsistency on that team. Very disappointed in the way they played. You're home against Seattle. I mean, you're trying to get that first place spot in the NFC South. I know it's still pretty early in the year, but you want to get those wins as much as you can, especially in your own conference. With Seattle losing 3 straight, they have no momentum going into this game, in my opinion. And the Falcons just get slapped in the face at home. I just think it's a pathetic loss. Even with the DK going down, it didn't matter for Seattle. Their defense dominated, and just an ugly performance overall with Atlanta and Kirk Cousins. Super disappointed in this team this week. They are easily my losers of the week. And now, for my team of the week, I'm going to have to give it to Pittsburgh. The Steelers. Unbelievable performance. I didn't think they were going to win this game as much. I can't stay in New York right now, but the Steelers, they get it done at home in a dominating performance. Russell Wilson has proved me wrong in a nice performance of him. Najee Harris had himself a great game as well. George Pickens, a great game. This offense was really connecting as well. Just Van Jefferson, I think, got in the end zone as well. Either way, this offense had himself a nice day. Defensively, they dominate Aaron Rodgers. They make him look, man, Aaron Rodgers having a lot of interceptions as well in this start of his season this year. So, like I said, the Steelers, dominating performance at home. I think they're easily my team of the week, and I'm super surprised the way that game went. At 37 points? Wow. Never thought I'd see it. Thank you guys so much for watching, though, on my Week 7 thoughts. I know this video is definitely probably not one of my greatest. When you're at work and you're absolutely slammed, you didn't get to catch a lot of football. I had to do a lot of review, making sure my fact-checking is okay. I'm not the greatest, but either way, here are the now Week 8 slate of games coming at you next week. Now, my question is, though, I saw this either it was on TikTok or Instagram. I thought there was a flex change on the Sunday night game with Dallas. I don't know what's going on with that, or if that was fake or not. I really need to look into that because I don't know what's going on with that game. But either way, those are your Week 8 games of next week. Like I said, guys, I'll try to be better again for next week, having more detailed and a lot more games this week. I mean, lots of boring. There was definitely some pretty boring games this week, but it definitely, I mean, football's football, and I try to watch as much games I can get to make these videos. I know this is nothing very impressive. But yeah, just I try to get my opinions not to be so biased as well. Just this video was just to me is okay. But like I said, I'll try to be better next week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like or subscribe to the channel. Follow the Facebook or TikTok at BDSMan12. Cannot wait for next week. Going to try to get in some Black Ops 6 action. Of course, I work next weekend, go figure. And there's a big Ohio State game that I really want to watch as well, so against Penn State. But like I said, love seeing Alabama and Michigan losing again on the same weekend. How great is that? Either way, thank you guys so much for watching my Week 7 thoughts of NFL. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully for a better week of the NFL in Week 8. See you guys later.